breakfast.
It is Win for Breakfast right here on the WAV 97.9 WHAV, and in the studio with me is Caroline Pineau from STEM Haverhill. And Caroline, good morning to you. Thanks for joining me today.
Good morning, Win. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, I wanted to have you here. You're in the news a lot, but one of the things I wanted to have you on to talk about was you recently had. I did too, but I didn't have what you had. I had kidney stones, and that hurt. But you were on a different health mission. And why don't you tell us what you're comfortable with telling us?
Yes, thanks, Win. Yeah, so last October, I was diagnosed with early stage breast cancer. This came as a complete shock to me and my family to receive this diagnosis that's, very scary and faces a lot of unknowns at the age of 39. I immediately had to face some really challenging decisions on what treatment plans I would choose, and it put a pause in my work a little bit professionally and made me slow down a bit. And I am proud to say that I'm now cancer-free. I did navigate that health journey. I chose to have a double mastectomy with reconstruction. And because of that, because I caught the cancer so early, I was able to avoid having to go through chemotherapy and radiation. So that choice was a really difficult one to make, but a really easy one in the end, knowing that I wouldn't have to go through those procedures, which so many people, have adverse side effects with. So I was grateful that early detection allowed me to have more options in my treatment. And if there's one thing that I could, empower women to do more, is to just be on top of early detection when it comes to your breast care health.
So was this a routine exam that you went in for?
Yes, it was my first ever mammogram win, and it was something that I was encouraged to do before the age of 30 because my mother had breast cancer, as well as both of my grandmothers on both sides, maternal and paternal. So being that it was common within my family, even though I didn't end up having the breast cancer gene, they felt strongly that I should get early detection and recommended doing so at the age of 35. But as a working mother, I got really busy. I had young children at home and had put it off. And so this was my first ever mammogram. And like I said, it came to my complete and utter shock that I had DCIS, stage 0 breast cancer, which is the earliest detectable time that you can know that you have breast cancer. So I felt really lucky and blessed in that way because I had a lot more treatment options.
Well, I bet, I'm just guessing, but you can tell me better, that because I know that you do a golf tournament. Is it Green Goddess?
We do the Green Goddess Invitational, and actually this is the 5th anniversary win.
Okay, and I'm sure that you'll be talking about your journey at that golf tournament.
Yes, that's on October 26th this year. It's a private event at the Renaissance, and this year it will be to support early detection, breast cancer advocacy, and support for women facing cancer diagnoses. So women need a lot of support as they go through this, and statistically showing early detection, if you catch cancer in its earliest stage, there's a 99% survival rate. So just empowering women to really advocate for themselves in health and to try to get early detection when it comes to their breast exams.
So, folks who follow the news, they know that you own STEM Haverhill, and you're very involved with a lot of things, and you've got some items on your plate today.
We do have our items on our plate today. Today we are launching a campaign to collect signatures to allow on-premise consumption of marijuana here in Haverhill. So this is a process that can be enacted by our local city council. They do have it in their authority to enact social consumption without this ever having to go to the ballot. But given that this is such a polarizing issue in our community, we really feel most comfortable also securing 4,700 signatures to put this onto the ballot in November. should the voters need to, revocalize that, many of whom already supported legalization when they voted for this back in 2016, that yes, indeed, we would be open-minded to having cannabis commerce in a social lounge format right here in Haverhill.
So when it comes to that, you have to get, so it's in Haverhill, so you need Haverhill residents.
We need registered Haverhill voters. We'll be at tonight's CiderFeast, which the sun is actually supposed to come out for that. So if you have tickets for that or have not purchased your tickets yet, get on it. It's going to be an incredible night down on the boardwalk. We will be there gathering signatures for our initiative from registered Haverhill voters and supporting such a wonderful event. But really, we have a vision for Haverhill as a thriving community where small businesses can flourish and contribute to the local economy. And so we really see social consumption as a way to create more jobs, boost local businesses, and foster a sense of community here in Haverhill. So we're excited to share our journey with Haverhill voters and the business community here. And we really believe that this can help bring more vibrancy to Haverhill's downtown.
And you have plans for the building. You want this this lounge in the building that you're in. It was third floor, is it?
It's the fourth floor and the roof. So it would be a 3-floor proposal. We are actively building this out right now. We are just about to break ground on phase 2 construction. Phase 1 was the preparatory phase to get ready for an ADA compliant stairwell and elevator. Our building dates back to 1876 and survived the Great Fire of 1882. So this building was born to be a cannabis building. And we are poised for growth. We have received $800,000 to date in grant funding from the Cannabis Social Equity Grant Fund to put towards this project. This is going to be in excess of $2 million project, but we are excited to bring this old building that's been dormant for decades up to modern day compliance and share the history, the rich history of that building with the public. And we believe that there should be equality and choices for people in downtown. There's a ton of alcohol establishments, and the law says regulate cannabis like alcohol. So we believe, a fairly modest expansion, a lounge would be an incredible asset to Haverhill's downtown and a nice choice for people who might not necessarily want to go patron a bar, but instead go socialize and learn about cannabis and cannabis consumption.
So I'm thinking, when I first heard about this, I'm thinking, you can't smoke cigarettes indoors or things like that. But cannabis, how does the law get around that?
Well, remember, these license types weren't available when those laws were all made regarding smoking. So there are very stringent compliance regulations that you have to follow. HVAC compliance with 20 air exchanges per hour, so that the odor mitigation, by the time the air is expelled to the outdoors, there's little to no odor left in the air because of all the carbon filtration and HEPA filters that the odor needs to go through. So much like you can think of a casino or a cigar lounge, cannabis consumption actually has far greater compliancy requirements. So, and particularly for employees, there's protections for employees so that they're not necessarily exposed to cannabis smoke.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about the employees, because you have to have employees in there too, right?
Yes. So we have designed a really cool plan, and you happen to be holding the educational presentation right in front of you. I have made a 40-page educational presentation that's available at STEM, can be emailed to you, that I'm circulating throughout the community, and we'll be posting online on our Instagram page. So follow along for our build. Right now, we're going through the local control piece. We need our local city council to opt in to cannabis social consumption. And I'm really excited to have some positive leadership on the city council. Colin LePage and Devin Ferreira, two of our really awesome and supportive city councilors, were actually on site yesterday supporting the project, touring the building. So we're happy to have bold support and leadership on the council trying to help us get this done.
So beautiful pictures in there. Did you take those?
These are all by our local photographer, Laura Kozlowski. Shout out to Laura. She's an incredible photographer I met through my work with Northern Essex Community College, because I'm on the board over there, Wynn. I'm not sure if you are aware of that, and do a lot with the college. So I got to meet Laura, and she takes wonderful photos, and thankfully we have had the pleasure of putting them together into this cannabis social consumption education pamphlet.
And what's the next? I'm sure that you've got a ton of hearing dates coming up.
Yeah, we have a hearing date currently scheduled for July 8th and 14th, respectively, with the Planning Board on July 8th and the City Council on July 14th. We also will be collecting 4,700 signatures in the next 3 weeks, again, to formally submit to the city clerk and to the Secretary of State a petition to allow on-premise consumption of marijuana so that the voters can vote on this in November, as they did back in 2016, and just give everyone the confidence they need that this is a welcome commerce within our city, that we support local business, and that we're excited for new ideas. We're excited to drive people to downtown so that we ultimately can have a 16-hour economy. This current administration says that they want and support a 16-hour economy in Haverhill's downtown. So we look forward to contributing to that endeavor, and rolling up our sleeves to work with the city to get the best ordinance possible to regulate safe and responsible cannabis consumption here in Haverhill.
All right. So let me just, if you don't bump into somebody who wants to sign the petition, how can they get a hold of you?
Oh, yeah. So you can follow us at STEM Haverhill on Instagram, DM us, call the store. You can come down and sign the petition. Adam and I will be at the store. You can ask to sign the petition. We will have canvassers around the community at the Pride event this Saturday. That would be a great day to come sign. We will have a petition available at the Greater Haverhill Chamber of Commerce. And we will also be hosting an community education evening that's going to be vibrant and exciting next Wednesday from 4:30 to 6:30, June 24th, at the Greater Haverhill Chamber of Commerce, and that's their business after hours. And STEM will give a presentation about what are all the implications of cannabis social consumption. What does this mean for our community economically, and how you can support? And so we'll have signature gatherers there as well, Wynn.
Well, you got your work planned out for you.
I got the work planned, and now I'm going to work the plan.
Good for you. All right. Well, Caroline, anything else you'd like to add?
No, I just thank you, WHAV, so much, and I look forward to seeing everyone at CiderFeast this evening.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Wynn.
Caroline Pineau from STEM Haverhill, our guest this morning, and thank you for sharing your health journey as well, too. Our guest this morning right here on the WAVE, 97.9 WHAV.
Wake up with Wynn Damon weekdays from 6 to 9 a.m. on 97.9 FM WHAV.
Catch the wave, WHAV.